Okay, so this week's theme is music. So Chaz has asked us to come up with 5 bands. So this week's been pretty weird as far as British politics go because the Conservative Party and the Liberal Democrat Party, who normally really dislike each other, have decided to form a coalition government, which is basically because neither of them have enough people to run the country very well. They've decided to join forces, just in case you didn't know what joining forces look like. It's sort of a bit like sex. Not really. So this week, my vlog is brought to you with the help of Nick Clegg, leader of the Liberal Democrat Party. See? Isn't he lovely? Okay, so this week's theme is music. So Chaz has asked us to come up with 5 bands and 5 songs. We're going to start off with the bands. Okay, so the first band I want to talk to you about is Kinsman, which is my favourite band, who I saw live last Thursday, while Nick here was failing to get elected as Prime Minister. It's sort of synth rock. The way they describe themselves is an American edgier version of The Cure. Very, very, very good live. And we will discuss them more when we get to song. Second band is the Beatles, because the Beatles is on everyone's list, and although we both agree that the psychedelia stuff is a bit out there for us, we really, 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 really like Rubber Soul and Revolver and albums like that. So yeah, the Beatles, awesomeness. The next band I want to talk about is the Cribs, which is the first band I ever saw live, and currently they play with Johnny Marr of the Smiths. Johnny Marr. They're very proper definition of indie band. When I say indie, I mean they don't like big record companies. They're on their own label, etc., etc. It's very lad rock in style. They've got loud, broad accents, and it's all about guitars and men and guitars and stuff. But yeah, that's another good band. And if you wanted to listen to an album, it would be Men's Needs, Women's Needs, whatever. Band number 4 is Muse, who are like one of the most awesome British rock bands around at the moment. And they sound very, very prog compared to a lot of stuff that's going on these days. Brilliant, like guitar solos, piano solos, whatever. So yeah, Muse, listen to them. Best album by them? Probably Absolution. Their last album was a bit weird. The last band I'm going to talk about is a band made on YouTube who invented a genre called rock, which is short for Time Lord Rock, which basically means Doctor Who based fan rock. And the band itself contains Alex Day and Charlie McDonnell. Yeah, and so they fan band about Doctor Who in very clever, funny ways. On to songs. Okay, so the first song I'm going to talk to you about is my favourite song by my favourite band. So my favourite song by Kinsman, which is Nerve Gas, which is one of their really early songs. It's off the album American Jet Set, and I've seen them play it live. It's got these really awesome guitar synth things going on. And I suppose that if you got high on something, it would be like, ah, as far as the song goes, which is always a good thing. It is really cheesy because it's Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler, which probably doesn't need much explanation, apart from that's Bonnie at her best, and boy can she belt. It's one of those songs that's like your guilty pleasure, apart from I have a load of songs like that floating about on my iPod, so, never mind. Is the Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show as performed by Riff Raff, Magenta and Columbia. It's one of those songs where you just have fun with it. It was written in the 70s to take the piss out of all songs with dance steps, so you can see the brilliance of it already. Need I say more? Song number 4 I first got into because it was part of the soundtrack to Billy Elliot, which is brilliant, and it is A Town Called Malice by The Jam. Now, The Jam is a band you'll have heard of because its frontman was Paul Weller. And it's one of those songs that makes you want to get up and tap dance. Plus, if you ever see Billy Elliot, there's a really nice dance routine to it with Jamie Bell. The last song I want to talk to you about is a song by a man called Tim Minchin, who is an Australian comedian who works primarily with music as his form of comedy. And it's a song called Dark Side, which is about him struggling with his overall goodness and not really having any bad bits about him, which leads to hilarious events involving his girlfriend and his record company. It's not really available on CD and stuff, so I just recommend you look it up on YouTube and maybe do an audio rip if you wanted the music on your iPod or something. For today's blog of the week, I have two things to talk to you about, considering that this week's video is brought to you by two people. So the first of these is Seriously Strange, which is linked in the doobly-doo along with everything else that you might need. And most of what is posted is either Harry Potter related or Robert Downey Jr. related. You can see how this works for me, because you've got the fun stuff, which is the Harry Potter stuff, and then the hot stuff, which is the Robert Downey Jr. stuff. Although occasionally the two cross over. But either way, it is good. And I really like this because I've just been paying so much attention to it these days. I wait for her to post. And I feel happy when she does post. It's brilliant. So yeah, you should follow her. Number 2 that you ought to follow is Fuck Yeah, Nick Clegg. And you know why? I'm Nick Clegg. And you should follow me. And it's brilliant and good and awesome and funny. And sticking 2 fingers up at Labour and Conservatives. And I don't really expect you to if you're American, but yeah, fuck yeah, Nick. So that's pretty much it for this week. So it's bye from me. It's bye from Nick Clegg. And I'll see you on Thursday.